Welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
And to the
Don't
sounds
mind
of
me just dancing.
ambulance in my background. It is episode 355.
I remember to set up my sign again.
Oh,
It's
that's
been a
good.
minute since I've done that.
Eh, it's fine. We'll live. We're recording late because Sunday we had lives happen. Um, it's just our lives did not mesh. Our schedules did not meet in the middle.
It happens.
So
Life occurs.
life occurred. So I'm going to enjoy a serious cup of tea in the travel thermos I stole from my dad. I really liked it.
Nice.
And Mom said he had a cupboard full of thermoses, so he wouldn't miss one. So I took this one. It keeps things really cold and really hot for a really long time. It's nothing fancy,
That's a good
guys. It's
thermos.
just some English breakfast.
I
So
went
the
for
siren stopped.
Darjeeling
Were you
today.
at the did you stop somewhere near me?
Oh dear. An exciting day in the neighborhood.
Possibly.
I have a cup of Darjeeling tea in our branded cup.
Ooh.
I will soon have our store up and running, so if you too would like a branded beverage conveyance coming soon to an e-store near you.
I'm waiting. I want my pajama pants.
I know, I know.
I have
Merch
demands.
design is so much work.
Merch design is
Like,
a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I just go, hey, could we do this? And then I don't have to think about it anymore.
yeah, don't worry, it's on the list, but it's
Start with the
it's on the
store.
list.
Get the store up and running first. My stuff can wait. Mostly because I know you also like the idea of a pair of pajama pants. So, like, I know
I
it will happen.
do.
I know it will happen. Yeah. It's so funny. All right. Oh, well, I have one, two, three things and a clue.
I also have three things and a clue. I have two sad things, a happy thing, and a clue.
You've had some rough goes.
I
I'll go
had some
first.
fail this week.
I'll go first this week. I got an empty pair of needles
Ooh, okay.
because I finished the Moonbeam Sweater.
Yes.
You guys can see it. There's an Instagram reel on our Instagram, which is Northern Knits Podcast, where I show off the thing. And it has gone to Miss L, and she loves red and she loves moons. So we hugged it and put it on first thing this morning, and Dad's not allowed to take pictures. So kindly, Dad, who's my friend, took photos from a distance. So it looks like it fits. It's tunic length. She's 3.5, and I made her a size 5'6", right? So we've got a
Yep.
nice wide boat neck tunic dress going on, which is cool because I've been told we're rocking the dress legging look. Like that's our go-to right now.
Nice.
So he's like, we'll see how well we go because if she won't take it off tonight, we have a winner. Fair. And I have a free pair of needles I can show you guys. Mostly because I finished it Friday night. So like I did the finished Friday photos. And then I showed everybody on the e-knit for the Patreon e-knit yesterday. And then I was like, I'm literally seeing Dad tomorrow. I'm not hanging on to this for 2 more weeks. I'm just gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
Just gonna give it to him. It's fine. So we'll show the needles in there. So the Moonbeam Sweater, which was done out of some red cherry impeccable and some white impeccable with worsted acrylic because we are an outside kid. This seemed wise.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm glad she loves it.
I'm glad I have another finish. So I'm glad.
Ah. Shall I
A
talk about
random
things?
ball of spare yarn. Would you like to see the ball of scrap yarn?
Oh.
Doesn't sound
Oh,
appealing to
okay.
me either. Oh, I lied. I have one extra project. Of course I lied.
Oh, of
I always
course you do.
do.
That's a good thing you started then.
It's a good thing I started first. Yep.
Shall I talk about a thing?
Absolutely.
All right. Uh, the first of the sad things.
Yeah, always best to end on a good note.
Yeah. Three things and two of them are sad.
Oh God,
This
that's
this is the
just
less sad one in that I actually made progress on my little long sweater. This is the Librarian by Steinkriger Knits
okay.
out of Dragon Horde yarn cinnamon apricot spice. It's a DK tweed.
Oh, I love
And
that yarn.
it's very librarian-y colored, and it really matches my hair.
It really does.
It really does. I might have to dye my hair before I take finished object photos of this.
It's a fresher color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was purple, and now it's fading into this lovely red, which is not mad. But it means if I'm going to take good photos of this sweater, I might have to change the hair color.
That's okay. You've got a ways to go before you're done, so.
Oh, yeah. So the sad thing about this was last week I had casted it on 2 or 3 times, and I still had to squeeze in 2 extra stitches because I ran out of yarn again. And then I was trying to establish 2x2 ribbing. That is knit 2, purl 2, over and over again, all the way around. Very simple.
No.
Could I get it right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No, I got all the way around and I was off by a stitch and discovered it was back near the beginning of the row that I had messed it up. And so I tinked back the row, fixed it, got back around again, was still off by a stitch, discovered I'd only gotten about a dozen more stitches around before I messed it up again. And then I thought, well, hey, now I could just like drop down the stitches and fix it like all the way around because I know how to drop down stitches and fix it.
Yep.
And it would be every other stitch all the way around. It would be fiddly, but like I can do it. So I knit back up to that point, did the drop down and fix it for a couple of stitches. And I'm like, nope, it's going to be faster to unknit it and reknit it. So I did that.
Okay. Okay.
Well, this yarn is lovely, but the little neps, the little tweedy bits,
Causing you some
make it
trouble?
not the best for dropping down and fixing things.
Okay.
So yeah. So I unknit it back around to that point, and then I knit it back around again, and I got it right. On the third time, I got it right. And so now I have about 1.5 inches of the 3 inches of ribbing that I need at the bottom of this pullover cropped sweater.
It's an easy rib, hey?
It is. It's 2x2 ribbing, but could I get it right?
No.
Absolutely not. 3
No.
times. I had to cast it on 3 times. I had to establish the ribbing 3 times. Watch me have to establish the body patterning 3 times as well.
Hey, I recommend a lifeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get to the end of the ribbing, I'm putting in a lifeline. This sweater's having lifelines. The pattern is not complicated.
No.
But given how much trouble I've had just starting.
No.
Lifelines.
Okay. Lifelines.
Lifelines.
Absolutely lifelines. Absolutely lifelines.
On the plus side, this is it's going to be it's very stretchy. Like
good.
Like this is like 1 inch in it, and it goes very stretch.
Good.
So it's going to be very nice and cinchy around the waist like it's supposed to.
Yes, which is what you want.
Is what I want, because I have very narrow waist relative to the rest of me, so it's actually going to cinch in properly.
Which is good.
I'm very hourglass shaped, which is great, except that it means nothing actually fits properly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you're the very small percentage of people to whom the standard body size works, there's not many of us. Things never fit properly. It's just when you buy clothes, that's
why we make our own.
That's that's your trade-off.
So that's what I'm working on while we record. I so far have been able to do 2x2 ribbing now that it's actually established, and I can see right away when I'm doing it wrong.
Okay, good. Imagine me, I can never see when I'm doing it wrong.
And people are like, oh, you just do it right on the next row. And I'm like, no, but I won't though. I'll just consistently do it wrong on every row. I need to get the first row right.
But also would drive you nuts.
I know myself.
It would drive you nuts. I know you.
It's not even that it's not even that it's like I probably wouldn't be able to see it when I was done if the very first row of the sweater was not quite in pattern. It's the fact that as I tried to knit more, I would forget that I would have to be compensating for a slightly incorrect pattern, and I'd just do it more and more incorrectly all the way up. So
I mean, it would match at that point.
Right. I know myself. The first row has to be right.
First row has to be right. Okay. Sure.
Anyway, so that's finally actually on the needles and on its way.
So I need to get serious and pick mine up now.
I mean, sure. You're seeing how much trouble I'm having with this thing, so.
We'll take serious with a grain of salt.
Ugh. Serious in that it's actually started, so.
While we record, I continue to make small amounts of progress on my There's Coffee and That Nebula socks, complete with all of my wild ends, because I don't know how to do yarn management. That's fine. These are only going to be shorties, so I'm at the point where I'm obsessively putting it on every couple of rows till it's at the right height.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to do my ribbing because I know me. There will not be 2 inches of ribbing. There will not be 2 inches. I will do an inch of ribbing and I'll be done. I
Yeah.
know myself. So I need to get a little bit more in the way of height. Because I like my shorties to sit over my ankle bone. Then they stay put. Stay put. So my hope is that whoop, why? Why? Why do you do this to me, computer? Go away. My hope is to have these done by the end of this week to free up some sock needles. So we will see how I do. There is Coffee in That Nebula is one of the Star Trek Club colorways from Erin of Fireweed Fibre Co. She is a local dyer to me, and we are very good friends, and I love her yarn. So I knit a lot in her yarn. That is how it goes. I did my socks, so you're up.
I'm up. What am I talking about? Oh, my other sad.
Your other
Okay.
sad.
The other sad, the
The
thumbnail sad.
thumbnail sad.
Yeah. Where's the other end? There we go. Okay, so this is the Steinkriger, the Stone Warrior for Mr. Diana.
Yep.
I can hold it
The
up.
sweater has been nothing but trouble.
Sweater's so much trouble. I got the sleeves on. I got up
Yep.
to the color work. I started the color work and I got
Uh-huh.
all the way around on the color work and it wasn't lining up. And I'm like, what? So
Uh-huh.
I counted all my stitches and I'm supposed to have 217
Mm-hmm.
and I have 198.
How?
And I'm like, what? How did I do it that wrong? So then I reread the directions for how to join the sleeves, and it turns out when you divide the body in half, I had interpreted the instructions as 10 stitches either side of the halfway point,
Nope.
but it's 5 stitches either way of the halfway
My
point
point. 10
for a
stitches
total of
total.
10. Yeah, 10 stitches total, not 20 stitches total,
Okay.
which is where my 20 stitches went.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm so glad you left a lifeline.
Yeah, so I got this lifeline in here because guess what? We're pulling it back to the lifeline. Ugh. I did
Oh
the
my
sleeves
God.
right. The sleeves are right. I
Good.
just I left too many stitches off the body, and so yeah, know what? Yeah, here we go. Get out of here, stitch marker.
I don't
Oh,
think
sorry.
Mr. Diana is ever getting another sweater after this.
But this sweater is cursed, and like we're not supposed to have sweater curses once we're married to them, right?
Well, see, that's folklore and myth, so
I was under the impression that the sweater curse was for before we were married to them.
I feel like that's folklore and myth. I don't think there's any actual standings or statistics we can go with
I demand a scientific study.
on the boyfriend sweater curse.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it feels like that way because like sweaters are pretty big projects, right? Like they're not a weekend thing. They're not a weekend project. No. So like I'm sure it could feel that way,
So here I go taking all the
but
stitches off the needles
this
again.
in this particular case, your husband and this sweater are quite quite oil and water.
It's gonna be a glorious sweater when it's done properly, finally. Oh my God. I just, this is what I get for trying to join sleeves while I watch something on TV.
You should know
There,
better.
the needles are out.
You should know better.
I should know better, and yet I don't. So I'm gonna unravel that back to the lifeline.
Okay. Okay.
um,
Thank heavens this is a bulky weight sweater.
yeah. So this is the Steinkriger. The yarn is
Eco.
Cascade Eco Plus. It's a bulky weight, 100% wool. It's lovely and unravels and reknits great. I have thoroughly tested that. It unravels and reknits great.
Solid yarn review, folks.
It's really only
I
4
shouldn't
rows.
laugh
It's
because
just
it's just the sweater's caused
no,
you
you
so
can.
much woes. I should
I
just
know.
I can't help it. I
I'm so
can't.
done with this sweater. I've knit it twice now,
It's
and
so
it's still
cursed.
wrong.
It's so cursed. And laughing just makes me cry because my head hurts so bad. It's not
Like
stopping
me and
me.
sweaters, me and sweaters this week are not friends.
I just have
Between the
nothing but
librarian and
grief.
the Steinkrieger, like I just can I
Nothing but
even
grief.
knit? I know I've been knitting for like 12 years, but can I even knit? I don't
I
know.
don't know. That has not been your week, buddy.
No, it really hasn't.
Oh dear.
So that's
Oh,
what that's at. I don't have to
okay.
frog the whole thing again. I just have to go back a few rows and
Oh man.
attach the sleeves again, which is a very annoying row.
He better just be tickled beyond all measure when he gets this
He
sweater.
he better hug the sweater and put it on and never take it off. He better be like the little kid with the moon sweater.
You better be like the little girl with the moon sweater. I agree. Oh, heavens. All right. Oh,
It's my
thank you
last
for
tale of woe, fortunately.
thank you for the amusement, but oh, my brain's under a lot of pressure. So I forgot to mention. So I was like, I only have three. It's fine. No, I have four. I have four, guys. Why do I have four? I have four because I forgot. I finished the brim on the hat design I'm working on. Look, it's a brim.
Ooh,
How
a
smexy.
brim.
A brim, guys. I know. I
Look
know.
at that. You managed to do your ribbon correctly, unlike
Did
me.
my ribbing correctly. I mean, it's 1x1 twisted rib, which is my favorite kind of rib. So, this is some DK weight yarn from, unshockingly, Erin of Fireweed Fibre Co. This is actually last December's club colorway. So it was Buffy this year. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a Buffy club colorway. I remember months. I'm the worst at remembering names. So few names stick in my head. It's not even funny.
They're all really
Though
great names too.
there's such she puts so much work and effort into these names, and I'm just like I remember so few of them. It's not cool, guys. I mean, it is me because like I will forget friends' names. Like I'll have known people for 20 years, and I'll have a moment where their name does not come to me. I will hold down whole conversations, remember their children, the sports they're doing. I'll remember their likes and dislikes, and they'll wander away, and somebody will be like, "Who's that?" And I'll be like, "I have no idea. I have no idea. I know them, but I don't know their name because I don't remember at that specific moment in time. I'll remember later." So there's not much to say about that because it's a design. So it's a brim, guys. It's a brim. But no, I don't need
Do
testers
we
right now.
do we get a hint about what the rest of the design looks like?
It's gonna mimic Northern Lights. So it's for because I
Ooh.
did a spooky vibes collection and I'm working on a winter like the idea is to have a collection of different knits for each season. So this is sort of for spring. So it's like a DK or fingering weight version with some Northern Lights rocky vibes. So that way it's depending on what spring is where you are, because like if it's the southern hemisphere, technically they're going into fall. Or if
Hmm.
you're live in the upper ends of the northern hemisphere, spring's still pretty snow covered. So I wanted to have a fingering weight, DK weight. So depending on what spring was for you, you could pick a different weight of yarn to work with the actual season you're functioning in. So I'm hoping to have that done soon. We'll see how it goes. I get delayed, I get distracted. I'm gonna distract Diana here as soon as we're done recording because it's called the
Oh
Red
dear.
Heart Granny Square All in One.
I like the sound of it already.
And I've seen exactly one review on it, and I'm like, I gotta try it. I gotta try it. I'll probably end up fiddling with it. I'll probably be grumpy with it because it needs a very specific tension. But the idea is you start from the inside of the ball, and it makes a 6-round granny square, and it just automatically changes colors every round for you. So you just have the two
Oh,
ends. Very intrigued. I super want to try. I super want to try. You know?
okay.
You know?
I
We'll
think I've heard
see.
of this.
We'll see. Anyway, that's for later Jocelyn to distract future Diana with.
Okay.
But that's my design. So I have one more thing I can talk about, and then I've got the clue.
All right. I will talk about my one happy thing this week.
Okay.
Branded bag. I'm so branded this week.
Oh man.
Or is it? I have this giant bag because this is going to be a giant project, but it isn't yet.
Well, yeah, but the start of a blanket is always small.
Where's which? Help.
Sure, I'll just rush right over. It'll only take me 3 days by car. I'll be right there.
Really, that sums up my brain so many days. Where's which? Help.
Nope.
Oh my God. Okay.
Imagine that phone
This
call.
is
Jocelyn, I need you to fly to Ontario to help me. I've lost my brain. Oh, that's a big loss. Okay. Let's figure this out. I'll be 5 hours. I'll be right there.
so this is the granny stripe blanket. I got into color 5. That's my happy thing.
Ooh.
In fact, I'm doing really well in color 5. I think I'm probably actually halfway through color 5.
God dang, you're making so much progress on that.
This is all I want to work on.
It's just your granny stripe.
This is the only thing that's going well for me right now, and it's all I want to work on.
Yeah.
Uh, There's not too much to say about it. It's just granny granny square shells in rows back and forth. And it's gonna be couch throw sized. And I thought this was gonna take me all year, and I don't think it is.
Famous last words.
Famous last words, I know. But I love how it like fades because
And
the
she's using
minis all
advent
coordinate.
colors, and she's
Yes.
using them in order. It's gonna
I'm using
fade.
coordinating, yes.
Yeah.
I'm using the advent calendar from Fireweed Fibre Co. 2022.
Yes.
It wasn't this past year's, it was the year
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. So 2022.
So it's lots of shades of blue, and
Yes.
then there's just going to be a solid blue border. And it's going to be glorious.
It's gonna be
I'm
glorious.
very excited about it. Yeah, that's about all there is to say about it. It's the only thing that's going well.
Fine.
And it's surprisingly
I
warm, actually, so I'm not going to leave it on my head.
thoroughly
It's so
enjoy crochet.
pretty.
I thoroughly enjoy crochet. So I'm very delighted you're doing a granny stripe blanket.
It's so pretty, and it goes squish.
I go swoosh.
It goes squish.
I like how you were squishing at the microphone, like the microphone's gonna pick up yarn squishing.
Well, no, I was squishing it for the visual ASMR for the camera. If I
For the
wanted to
visual.
squish it for the microphone, it'd be like here.
Yeah, but it's still not gonna pick it up.
No, it's not. And then using my ergonomic hook from Two Piece Hooking with the little Pac-Man ghosty on it.
Yeah. God, I love 2P hooks.
So it's got the blues and the blues and everything's coordinating, and this project is bringing me so much joy.
Good.
And I just want to work on it, and I don't want to work on anything else. It's my treat for when I finish my other knitting for the day.
That's fair. Well, crochet is a different hand motion, right?
It is. Yes, it's also my break for if I don't finish my work knitting, but the hand says nope.
Hand says no. For better or for worse. Diana has inspired me.
Oh no, what did I do?
Not for granny stripe blanket, because I don't, while I love granny stripe blankets, the idea of doing one does not bring me joy. So I'm not doing it. Not doing it. What I do love to do is make decisions so that future Jocelyn gets really mad at me.
Okay.
And long-time watchers of the podcast or listeners of the podcast will know that I swore I was never going to do a small granny square blanket ever again. Because the blanket of doom was a whole thing. It
Uh-huh.
was a whole thing. Guess what I
Uh-huh.
started?
Oh no.
Now this is a combination. Diana cannot take all the blame for this. Part of this is Erin as well, who was talking to me about what she's doing with her minis. And
Okay.
she's holding her minis double, so one strand from the inside, one strand from the outside. And she's making 3 to 4 granny squares in each color. So
Okay.
now I have her advent from 2023, which is just last year's Christmas advent. The colors aren't right to hold up next to my skin. Like a lot of them are the green yellows and the pink orange, kind of like, so they're not the right colors for my to put next to my body.
Yeah.
However, I can make 3 to 4 granny squares. These little solid granny squares, not the shells, but the solid ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I could make enough of these and then make myself a Battenberg blanket. By then,
Ah.
once I've gone through and made enough of the colored minis, go buy enough solid color white or gray, probably like a light gray, maybe like a dove gray,
Okay.
into that almost white but not quite white.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could attach them as I create the dove gray squares and make myself a Battenberg couch throw. So I'm not
I
committing to a
see.
queen size bed of tiny 3-inch squares,
A
which
more
longtime listeners
reasonable.
will know I did that for one of my aunts. I made her an entire blanket out of 3-inch squares for her bed. It was intense.
I seem to recall the assembly process was a lot.
Yes. Assembly process alone took me almost 80 hours. It was well over a week's worth of hand sewing I had to do. Like a
Ugh.
job. I did have some left over. I rolled up. I'm going to make one large magic ball out of this scrap from this advent, and it will go into my jelly roll. So,
Nice.
for the moment, because it is 4 squares, one tiny nub, and 2 balls of the next color I just randomly grabbed, and I'm going to start with the advent, but I need like 84 minis or something ridiculously large like that. Like this is a beefy project, right?
Oh
It's
my.
3 inches, and what a standard crouch throw is like what 51 by 60 or like 37 by 60.
I think
I'm
mine's like
making them.
48 inches across. My
Well,
granny stripe one.
I'm nearly a 6 foot tall human.
It's true.
I need
I'm a
60.
regular sized human.
I need 60 in length, or why am I even bothering? And I tend to make a fat kind of rectangle shape because I'm nearly 6 feet tall. Most of my family is over 6 feet or nearly 6 feet tall. A, a store-bought couch blanket isn't gonna work well. I need to make the extra large store-bought couch blanket size.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, I'll cover my toes, but it won't cover my girls. Or I want
Otherwise,
shoulder to
it's more of a lap
toes.
blanket
Yeah,
situation.
and that's not what I'm looking for. So I've got another color. I'm going to start with the Advent Mini, but I need way more than the Advent Minis. However, I have a metric boatload of variegated Aran Minis and Aaron's fingering weight scraps, so I can make a lot. I'm going to clippy the colors together. Thank heavens I've got a lot of stitch markers. And then when it's done, I will lay it out and I will decide on a pattern. And then I will put the minis, clip the minis together by row. So I know by row how they're supposed to lay out. So there will be a pattern. There will be a method to the madness. I sadly do not have a 2-piece hooking hook in a 4 millimeter, so I just have to use the standard metal 4 millimeter hook to do it. But I'm going to have a DK weight Battenberg blanket. And then it's so pretty. Guys, it's variegated yarn. It's just variegated yarn held with itself.
It's gonna be glorious.
So it's gonna look really pretty. I may discover that I'm happy making squares and I might just make all colored squares. I just might make a mosaic square color pattern. I might make it a Battenberg. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Step 1, make a metric boatload of tiny 3-inch squares, which is my treat, is to sit down and make a square or two when I need a knitting break because I'm pretty intense on the knit work right now. or while I'm waiting for things to process and stuff. You know the drill.
Mm-hmm.
This, I have no idea. Right now, it lives in a bag that Asa gave me because it is 4 squares and, 25 grams of yarn on a hook. As I get more squares, I will transfer them out of this to a larger project bag so I can keep track of what's going on. Because my Advent, me and the Kleenex box this week, is just living in here, just in my background. The whole Advent's just shoved in this bag. So I'm gonna keep the project between those two if possible for as long as possible, so it's contained.
Good call.
Because I've got granny squares all over the office that I need to pull together so I can finish filming a tutorial. But I don't know where the rest of these have gone. They're just somewhere in here. These pink and
Somewhere in
gray.
a safe place.
They're somewhere safe. Possibly in Phaedra's bed. I don't know. I will find them eventually. I always do. Why drop my Kleenex box? But that's my other fun. That's my Diana and Aaron / inspired me to cast on. I have to stop letting them inspire me, guys. It's dangerous for my work habits. Okay.
But enabling you into creative decisions.
I want that snood. I want to make that snood. I want to make that Sally Nightmare Before Christmas color themed inspired
I was just
snood.
watching that. It looks pretty great, I gotta say.
I gotta make one, right?
I think you do, yeah.
I think I do. Okay. With my white winter coat.
Yes.
Even with my blue cobalt coat. How epic. Okay. I have more dream crochet in my future, because of course I do.
Is it time for MKAL?
It is time for MKAL.
Okay. Be warned, here there be spoilers.
Yes, so here's your bears due warning. If you are very far behind, there are spoilers.
We're gonna show Clue 2.
We're gonna show Clue 2. We are running a mystery knit along. It is Diana's first fully published pattern. And it's a mystery knit, so like she did it on hard mode.
Yeah. I like to learn things the hardest way possible.
It just means forevermore. The rest of it will be easy because you'll look back and you'll be like, well, at least it's not a mystery knit log.
No, seriously, I like to learn things on hard mode. Like, I learned how to take public transit in Paris, France.
Yeah, you really do.
That was my first public transit experience. I learned how to fill out police reports in Brussels, Belgium.
You're like me. It's like, oh, what's the most difficult way to learn? Let's start there. Oh, you want to get into gaming? Start with Warhammer. That's not too difficult.
Tabletop gaming, Warhammer 40K. That's obviously the way to go.
Obviously the way to go. I know nothing about gaming. Let's walk in and do the hardest game system. Okay, cool. It's fine. We know each other. The important part is Clue 4 went out. How do I know Clue 4 went out? Because I literally just sent it out. Clue 4 is out. It's called the Choose Your Own Adventure MKAL. It is complete. Everybody loves the quizzes. We get lots of positive feedback for the quizzes. They're enjoying the clues. So we've got a few more weeks to go. Clue 4 just went out. We've got clues 5, 6, and 7 left to go, and then we are finished. It is our podcast anniversary knit along for the year. And it is free until that final update. So once it's all gone through and I've given everybody a finished pattern that isn't broken into clues, I will leave it free for a week so everybody can do the updates, and then it will become a paid for pattern. So here is your friendly reminder. Keep on track of your updates from your library, because once it goes paid, it's going to cause you problems. And I cannot help you at that point. My hands, they be tied then. So we have clues to show, and mine isn't currently in the office. So why don't you show yours first, and I'll go get mine. That's what I'll do.
Good. Okay, so if you don't want to see the Diana Clue 2 stitch, skip ahead. Now I gotta hold this up real careful, like, get out the way. Get out the way. Okay. Wait, okay, wait. This is the right way. Don't accidentally show other clues. Okay. Okay. So this is clue 1. Yes. Focus. There we go. Clue 1. Okay. Transition. Transition. Clue 2 stitch. It looks like this. Wait, let me stretch that out a little. There's little daisies. This is upside down, but because otherwise I might accidentally show other clues. But there's the Diana Clue 2 stitch. It's a little daisy stitch. And I love how it looks in this yarn. It's very, I don't know, it's very Field of Daisies, I feel. But like bluish green. I don't know if that makes any sense. I like how it looks. Mm, 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 mm.
I've returned. Are you talking or are you just showing people?
I'm saying nonsense and showing people.
Oh, good.
All right, I think that's as much as of Clue 2 as I can show safely.
It's always the trick where it's like, don't show the next one. Don't show the
I
next
saw a
one.
row of garter stitch and I'm like, okay, stop.
Stop. We've reached the transition. I love your clues. I really, really,
I
really
love
do.
them too. They're
I
a
love your clues
little
so much.
intense on the hands, but
Worth it.
they come out so cool.
They're worth it.
My Clue 3 is very intense on the hands, and I apologize, but it looks so cool.
Well, I absolutely did not upload a photo last week. So my clue 1 is this wonderful sort of waveled pebble look to it because it's just a knit pearl. But when you feel it, it feels like a loosely woven fabric, which I just adore. Also, this is my first
Nice.
color, this beautiful, beautiful gray. And then I got clue 3 trapped between my knees, so I can only go so high. So I'm not showing clue 3. And then we've got my transition, and I did the other transition method. So you get that beautiful,
Oh
again.
yes, I did the transition 1 option all the way through.
Yep, and I did transition 2 option all the way through. So that way I can feel the transition, which is really great.
Mm.
Clue 2, you see this color shift? Like, look at that color shift.
Oh, that's seamless.
Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, so good. Clue 2 is my eyelet lace, guys. I wanted a nice basic lace. I wanted a nice basic lace that gave you chainmail vibes because it had the little circles. And eyelet lace is the way to go, especially because mine is a knitting eyelet lace. There's no purling in this. So you get that
And in the
nifty
gray
little
too,
twist.
that's very chainmail.
Very chainmail. So there we go. I can't pull any higher because I got clue 3 is trapped between my knees, so I don't accidentally show clue 3 because we're not there yet. Clue 4 went out, so everyone's got a little bit of grace period. Heads up, clue 5 is a rest week. We invite everyone to take a break, enjoy a overly complicated bannock recipe.
Or some weirdly spicy cookies.
I love bannock. I love bannock a lot. I make bannock a whole bunch of different ways. So I sort of just walked everybody through the various forms of bannock that I make. And that's like basic bannock straight through to calzones. Like I make pizza bannock.
Pizza bannock.
Yeah. It's so much
Hang on.
fun. It's so much fun.
I might have to do some experimental Tuesday with our week 5 rest week.
So much fun. You need pre-cooked pepperoni. Like pepperoni's cooked, like you could eat it, right? You need some pepperoni.
Yeah.
You need some tomato sauce, and you need some melty cheese. And you make the bannock, and then you gently flatten it out so you can make little calzones. And you just put your fillings in, and then you bake it in the oven. But like I make bannock cinnamon rolls. Like I make it's it's tricky, but it's a good cinnamon roll, so I do it. So we've got a break coming up next week. Thank heavens, right? Thank heavens. We got a break period coming up. So that's our big thing, right? Yeah, that's our big thing. So yeah, clue 4, Into the Dungeon We Go is out now. So hopefully everyone is doing okay with that. That's the MKAL's done. You know what that means? Would you like a word?
Oh, what's the word? What's my unscripted patron word of the day?
Paleo.
Paleo.
Don't ask me. That's the word. I don't make these things
Paleo.
up.
Okay. We're talking like paleontology, paleo diet, paleo whatever the heck I feel like.
Paleo, whatever the heck you feel like, because all I got was the word paleo.
All right.
I don't pick these words. Guys, you send me these words. This is all you. I am merely the keeper of the words. I simply bequeath them to Diana when I have them.
Bequeath. All right. Uh, If you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we talk about all manner of things, and people send me dinosaur-related things, which I love, as well as other paleontologically related items.
Well done.
Does that does that count?
Well
I
done.
added like 6 syllables to the word.
You made it harder.
I did. Well, paleo wasn't going to quite work, but and it's not just dinosaurs. Sometimes there's other things.
True.
But, knitting patterns, comics, I
Yeah.
appreciate all of them.
Yeah.
Jokes about how there were totally dinosaurs in World War II because my sense of time
Is kind of
is
warped.
terrible. I'm aware there were not dinosaurs in World War II, but it's the running joke now.
Isn't there a video game
Oh, there are several.
that has dinosaurs in World War II?
I'm sure there's more than one.
There has to be.
Because come on, who doesn't want to put lasers on a T-Rex?
I would absolutely put lasers on a T-Rex.
I want to put lasers on a T-Rex.
I'm not even that into dinosaurs, and I would absolutely put a laser on a T-Rex.
Right? So there.
I would also step on
Um,
tanks like they're small things and crush them flat and giggle like a small child, but
yeah.
that's just me.
We also have YouTube memberships for a couple bucks a month. You get
Mhm.
some like 4 or 6 extra hours of Stardew Valley gaming to what just happened? Oh, my dinosaurs fell down. Thanks also for the dinosaur banner. They wanted to be even more in frame.
Uh, oh, guys, all of the lists for the Patreon perks and the YouTube memberships you can find. It is open to all knowledge, so you can decide whether or not that is something you can do. If you can't financially support us, don't worry about it. Liking, subscribing, commenting here on YouTube, and interacting with us on social media is a great way to tell us what you're working on. I can't believe your banner decided it needed to be more in view
Like right now when I'm talking about dinosaurs too.
right now.
Couldn't have
Yeah.
planned that.
Bookkeeping wise, we've already talked about the MKAL, that is the podcast anniversary knit. For the year, which means we will be celebrating 7 years of podcasting as of March, which is also our birthday month, with it coming up pretty quick. Pretty quick. Yikes. Okay.
Wild.
The Little Long started in December. There is no end date for that one. That one we are doing for fun. It is librarian or book themed. So if it is a color of yarn or a pattern that either has a book title or a book theme, or you think a librarian would wear it in a book in a library, it counts. Cardigans, pullovers, color work, you name it, we're probably going to say yep. We're probably going to say yep. I don't see why we would say no. I don't see why we say no. So hopefully everyone is enjoying that progress and work as it goes. We are coming up on the first solstice equinox of the year, as it will. The spring equinox will be happening shortly, which means everyone should start getting ready to cast on their spring equinox craft with us. So that is a knit or crochet of your choice for you that is themed to your springs.
That'll be in March.
I don't know. I know it's shortly. I have Imbolc next month. I have Candlemas next month, so equinox is the month after, so yeah, March.
Okay.
And February is a short month.
Yes.
I know it's by like
February being weird and special.
a day or two, depending on the year, but that doesn't matter. It's still really short. Other things that we have upcoming. The 2 week sweater challenge between me and Louise is happening. So we're casting on during the 2nd of February, and we're going until I know how to math, 2 Fridays following later. for 2 weeks, 14 days. She is doing a gauge to garment sweater, and I am going to try to remake the Tara sweater, which is a DK weight. Well, actually, it's a worsted weight sweater. I'm making it a DK weight yarn. So we will see how I do, but everybody's invited to join us. You don't have to do a sweater in 2 weeks. You could do the Fiber Friends challenge for February is sweaters. You could aim to try to do a sweater in a month,
Mhm.
which is quite reasonable. So I'm keep hoping that we can sucker Diana into trying. I think it would be a delightful thing to watch her struggle with.
The Steinkriger that I've had so many woes with is my 2 week sweater challenge from
From
last
last year.
year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goal is just to finish it. Stupid sweater. That's all I want. I just want it to be done.
There. There. So I think that's it. We've got well, actually this Saturday is the whip sprints because it's the last Saturday of the month. So don't forget to join us for whip sprints on YouTube and vote for
Mhm.
Craft Off for February because that's literally right around the corner too, because it's
Oh
also the
my
weekend.
gosh, is it seriously?
Yeah, this is the last
What?
weekend of the month.
When did that happen?
So we will find out shortly because our first live, so like we have one more recorded Sunday, but it's the last weekend because we switch months in the middle of the week.
Yeah, I'm
That's
looking at
why.
the calendar right now. That
Yeah,
when did this month become over?
I don't know, but it's pretty much over.
Cool,
Cool, cool,
cool,
cool, cool, cool,
cool,
cool.
cool,
Yep,
cool,
yep.
cool, cool, cool.
Insert
That's fine. It's
background
fine.
panicking right now.
Hmm. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm not.
We're
This
good.
isn't panicking. I'm not panicking. You're
Mm-hmm.
panicking. Who's
Of course
panicking?
you're not.
I'm not panicking.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case, I'm going to take my migraine-laden brain off of a screen. I'm going to let Diana go panic publicly instead of privately. And I'm going to say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't
Don't
forget to
forget to
knit.
knit.
You forgot it was the end of the month, didn't you?
I did.